Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you gathered here today to honor the best CEOs in 2019. This is the 7th edition of Mindrush, Business Today's flagship annual conclave. This year's theme, Disrupt or Die, is apt for the changing times. I hope you had a mind rush during all the thought-provoking sessions we had during the day. At least I did. And it actually made me feel far more optimistic about the economy after I listened to all those sessions. And these sessions have been designed for a deep dive into how businesses are coping with blistering change. We're in the midst of a technology revolution that is disrupting businesses across the value chain. No business is immune from it. Technology has, over the past few years, ensured that whatever we want to do, be it business, leisure, or entertainment, is in the palm of our hand in the form of a smartphone or tablet. As artificial intelligence, machine learning, 3D printing, Internet of Things, 5G, and blockchain become the new norm, companies and their leaders are being challenged like never before. As one speaker quoted Darwin, "There is not the fittest that survive, but those who adapt to change the best." Disruption is not a threat, but an opportunity. It may or will destroy businesses, wealth, and jobs, but it will also open up new businesses and new opportunities, and it will force existing businesses to spend and invest judiciously and run a tight ship. I know in my business, that is media, there is massive disruption happening with the digital tsunami. Audiences have moved to consumption of content digitally and mostly free. So we are now innovating on new business models of how to cater to our consumers while keeping our legacy businesses running profitably. And I'm sure everybody is also facing the same challenge. Business today has chronicled India's peaks and troughs, pain and gain, and boom and bust for nearly 3 decades now. Beginning this issue being unveiled here today, we will see business today in a refreshing digital-first avatar. Our presence on the web, businesstoday.in, is the fulcrum of this change as it brings you the latest on business and economy via stories, podcasts, videos, infographics, and slideshows, making full use of the multimedia potential of the digital platform. While the magazine keeps its traditional role of knowing and providing you greater insight, depth, and perspective in all aspects of business. I hope you all enjoy the digital-first business today in all its forms. Like us, all businesses today are facing unprecedented changes. No business can consider themselves secure today. You have, as what somebody said, Andy Grove, many years ago, it's the paranoid who survive. As we head towards the Best CEO Awards later in the evening, I just want to emphasize the criticality of the job of a CEO. Not only is he or she responsible to the shareholders and stakeholders like employees, suppliers, and now very importantly banks, but also to society at large in terms of diversity, environment, and such like factors. After all, as they say, the buck stops there. So CEOs get all the brickbats and the bouquets too. In today's hyper-connected world of social media, the role of a CEO becomes under greater scrutiny. Small mistakes are magnified in real time. Today we celebrate the champion CEOs of India. According to a Harvard study, There are four basic attributes which make for a successful CEO. The first is decisiveness. Better to make a wrong decision than not to make a decision at all. The second is getting the engagement of employees and their stakeholders in an active manner. The third is the ability of leaders to adapt to the rapidly changing environment. The most successful CEOs are the ones who devote greater time thinking on a long-term vision. In short, be future ready. The fourth is the ability to produce results on a sustainable basis. So you just can't be a flash in the pan. That in turn is linked to all the other three criteria. I'm sure the people who are being awarded today have all these qualities in full measure. One CEO has transformed a largely B2B firm into a consumer-centric entity to lead in two of the most complex and competitive consumer markets. The stock markets has rewarded him immensely. He is our champion of champions. Our Lifetime Achievement Award may have started out as a tech visionary, but today he's as well known for his philanthropic investments and his rapidly growing tech business. Another winner has an astounding feat of controlling over half of the Indian market in his business through relentless introduction of new products and inventions of brand. This other CEO has rushed in to tide over a big crisis, but he went on to transform the company with 60 new products and deeper penetration of the market to grow the company in double digits when several of the rivals shrunk. At last but not the least, we have a winner who is the longest serving chief of a public sector undertaking who has worked with 4 ministers, a CEO who has presided over one of India's dreams becoming reality. I wish to congratulate all the winning CEOs present here today who are making a difference, not only in their companies, but also in the industry and society as a whole. May you lead healthy, profitable, and responsible organizations. I now have the pleasure of welcoming our chief guest, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, the Honorable Cabinet Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel. This is Mr. Pradhan's second consecutive tenure in the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, making him the longest serving petroleum minister in India. Over the past 5 years, he has introduced several progressive initiatives, including the Give It Up campaign aimed at encouraging affluent citizens to surrender their LPG subsidy for the needy. PEHL, the world's largest direct benefit transfer scheme, and the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana to provide LPG connections to 80 million women from the below poverty line families. He implemented price rationalization of petroleum products, linking them with international prices, and oversaw the merger of ONGC and HPCL to make it one of the largest integrated national oil companies in the world. Now he's in the process of executing the privatization of Bharat Petroleum Corporation. His ministry is also working on doubling fuel retail outlets. Mr. Pradhan has been instrumental in introducing a new hydrocarbon exploration and licensing policy. It will, through a uniform licensing for exploration and production of all forms of hydrocarbon, open acreage policy, and the marketing and pricing freedom, enhance domestic oil and gas production. Mr. Pradhan began his political career as an ABVP activist in 1983 and has served in ABVP as National Secretary. He has also worked as an election in charge in Bihar and in charge of party affairs in Karnataka, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, and Odisha. One surprising fact I found that he's got a postgraduate degree in anthropology. From anthropology to politics, I don't know what the connection is, but obviously something very successful. If I may say so, he's one of the most dynamic ministers in the Modi government. Mr. Pradhan, it's an honor to have you amongst us today. May I invite you to deliver your keynote address. Thank you.